Video games are linked to violence. Judge Dredd comes to iPhones, iPhones go to the couch, Temple Run is downloaded a lot, Infinity Blade 2 gets updated, and Fire Monkeys take us all real racing. QuakeCon sees an update for Skyrim and a reboot for a classic. Minecon heads to Europe, the Old Republic goes free to play, gamers leave Azeroth in droves, and Stephen Fry tells us what he really thinks about LittleBigPlanet Karting, all in this week's edition of Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. Video games have been implicated in yet another violent crime, this one seeing a 17-year-old Californian man stabbing his 20-year-old friend, allegedly over a disagreement on Xbox Live. The game itself has not been mentioned, but the pair apparently argued before the unnamed teenager stormed over to his friend's house brandishing a gun. After firing blindly into the house, the 17-year-old grabbed a knife and stabbed the man, described as being like a cousin to him. While the 20-year-old suffered 16 to 17 superficial stab wounds, he has since been released from hospital. The 17-year-old, on the other hand, is facing court on charges of attempted murder. From justice of one sort to one that's just a little bit different, prepare to lay down the law on your iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch as Aussie developer Tin Man Games releases the eagerly anticipated Judge Dredd Countdown Sector 106, which puts you into the shiny boots of one of the world's greatest enforcers. Countdown Sector 106 is the latest digital gamebook from the studio and the first to be based on an existing franchise. The beloved combination of choose-your-own-adventure style storytelling plus a unique dice rolling system means that every decision you make, every page you turn, will impact on just how the judge plays out. And speaking of mobile games, while we joke about how they're great for playing on the bus, it seems that most people are actually playing on cell phones, tablets and other handheld devices in the comfort of their own homes. A recent study released by EA Mobile suggests that more than 125 million people around the world enjoy a little bit of mobile gaming from time to time. Of those, 69% say that they play at home or on the couch. 57% play at home lying in bed, 63% play as a passenger in a car, on a bus, a train or other form of public transport, 55% play while waiting for an appointment, and 41% like to multitask, playing games while they're watching TV. Noticeably absent from that list is the percentage of gamers who find time for a little Temple Run while sitting on the toilet. That said, we know the number must be fairly impressive, with the 100 millionth copy of Temple Run downloaded just this week. It took the Disney franchise 1 year to reach the milestone, which combines figures from the Apple App Store, Google Play and Amazon. Prior to September 2011, the game cost 99 cents, but it has since switched to a free-to-play model, which is obviously working rather well. Some more stats for you. 13% of the United States population has downloaded Temple Run, along with the same percentage of Australians, 11% of the United Kingdom, and a whopping 20% of Singapore. Another game that has been doing rather well on the App Store is Infinity Blade 2, which received a shiny new expansion this week, the action-packed Sky Cages. Throwing in new achievements, new gems, new treasure maps, and new Clash Mob challenges, Sky Cages is available right now for Infinity Blade only on iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Don't get too excited if you see the game popping up on Google Play. There is in fact an imposter Infinity Blade doing the rounds, which gamers report is simply a gigabyte of garbage, totally unplayable and doing who knows what to your device. If and when an official Android version of Infinity Blade 2 pops up, Chair Entertainment will let you know. And more from mobile gaming for just a little bit longer, Australian super developer Fire Monkeys has announced the first title to be released under its new label, Real Racing 3. This time around we get all new licensed tracks, all new licensed manufacturers, and a robust lineup of cars. It is the latest in the series started by Firemint back in 2009 and is expected on iOS devices by the end of 2012. Thanks to the efforts of new partners Iron Monkey, Real Racing 3 will also be revving up for Android and Windows Phone sometime in the future. Now, to update a story that we covered last week, the ongoing saga of Dawnguard DLC for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. At the time, we told you that Bethesda was keeping very tight-lipped on whether or not the new blood-sucking content would be arriving on platforms other than the Xbox 360. In fact, we'd been told not to expect any great news anytime soon. As it turns out, Bethesda is a bunch of trickers, and while the PS3 version is still in development somewhere, the Dawnguard DLC pack has now been released for PC via Steam as part of QuakeCon festivities. At the same event, Apogee Software and Interceptor Entertainment has announced a reboot of cult classic FPS Rise of the Triad. With the Unreal Engine 3 handling the back end, we're promised 5 characters with unique skills, a 20-stage single-player campaign, and some multiplayer thrown in to boot. Expect this one to pop up on Steam as well sometime before the end of 2012.
Why, thank you, good sir. You know, I think they're trying to tell us something. Yeah.
Last year, the inaugural Minecon celebration took Las Vegas by storm, with 5,000 Minecraft fans gathering to play games, meet friends, and generally have an amazing time. If you want to go this year, you'd better book tickets to Europe, with Notch and the team at Mojang announcing the convention will be held at Disneyland Paris on the weekend of November 24th and 25th. A couple of MMO updates for you this week. BioWare has announced that by the end of the year, Star Wars: The Old Republic will be free to play all the way up to level 50. If you want to progress beyond that point, check out new features or try different in-game items, you will have to fork over some real-world cash, either on a case-by-case basis or through a subscription. The initial purchase has been heavily discounted and contains 1 full month of paid subscription, so you will be able to find out just how you like to play before being asked for any more money. Unfortunately, while one MMO is going well, another is suffering a little bit. The official World of Warcraft subscription figures are in. The latest Activision Blizzard earnings call explains more than 1 million gamers have left Azeroth in just the past few months. The numbers are really nothing to laugh at, but with 9.1 million current active subscribers playing the game, it's the worst figures we've seen for the World of Warcraft in years. Being blamed for the downfall, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and Blizzard's own Diablo 3, which has effectively cannibalised the player base. Back in October 2010, World of Warcraft had more than 12 million active subscribers, but the number's been dropping ever since. It's hoped that the upcoming Mists of Pandaria expansion will breathe new life into the world, but perhaps it's time for Blizzard to move on. Not moving on too soon though, World of Warcraft film adaptation has just enjoyed a surprisingly positive update. New scriptwriter Charles Leavitt, the pen behind The Seventh Son, Blood Diamond and K-Pax, has signed up to start work on the storyline for the legendary entertainment flick. The news comes shortly after original director Sam Raimi announced he was leaving the project he'd been attached to for more than half a decade. Leavitt is actually the 3rd screenwriter attached to the film, following Gary Whitta, writer of The Book of Eli, and Robert Rodat, who wrote Saving Private Ryan. And finally this week, something a little bit unusual. By now, we're all familiar with Sackboy and the LittleBigPlanet concept. We're also well acquainted with Mod Nation Racers, the adorably speedy PS3 title. Put them together, add a little spice, and you get LittleBigPlanet Karting from United Front Games. Stephen Fry is lending his dulcet tones to the game once more, and this new video shows just what he really thinks of Sackboy, racing, and the all-new game with its comprehensive level editor.
Your pod really is the business end of a good idea. You just need to be shown the basics and you'll be away faster than a off a hot, shiny Taking a hit will slow you down and make you lose slight control of your cart, so avoid it if you can. It's advisable to hold your until your ignite. That's a good time to release the and get a satisfying boost. The bigger the bigger the boost. Now, who wants to know how to and at the same time? Well, you passed your test with all the flying of the bow. Time to start your weapons training. No, we're not getting bogged down in the logistics of ballistics. We're simply going to show you how to blast off the road. Behold the Weaponator. A serious bit of You have to feel 100% comfortable when you're Am I not right, sir? In karting lingo, means taking a in a really cool way. It's but controlled and saves all the hassle of to intercept the barrage from the brutes behind. Congrats! In fact, what the congratulations! Have the full lot. You are one of our flagship creators. Explore, try stuff, around with it all. You can't break it, for goodness sake. It makes you want to put one hand on your one over your and gasp the words, "Oh, that is gorge," doesn't it? Me too.
LittleBigPlanet Karting is currently available in closed beta only, and it's due out for PS3 by the end of the year. We're hoping that Mr. Fry will have calmed down a little bit by then. For the full version of those trailers, or for more information on any of these stories, head to playerattack.com. I'm Jessica Citizen. We'll see you next week.